welcome to this episode of the Bamboo Garden Wellness Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Michelle Dexter, and today we are honored to have Mary Jones with us, and she is the creator of Heartsong. So Mary, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So Mary, let's start up top. Tell us, what is Heartsong?
Heartsong is a combination of light language and energy work. It's a co-creation between me and Source to create a sacred space, actually co-creating a sacred space where people can come together in communion with Source and have a direct through the heart expression and experience of what it's like to connect with that divine love. And when you listen with your heart, you listen in an expanded way with more than just our five senses in this world. So it's more the language of light and vibration, which is like the original language of Source. And it encourages people to connect and open their hearts and it helps people to work with their heart and mind together. And my whole goal and my life's purpose is to help people walk more in wholeness in this lifetime. So that's basically a good introductory explanation.
Yes. So Mary, when people are experiencing Heartsong, they can come to a concert with you and hear you live. And I also understand that you have some CDs for people who can't or aren't able to attend.
Right. I created CDs with the encouragement of many people. I used to have a growth center out of my home. I called it Felicita Growth Center, and I hosted all kinds of seminars and workshops, ceremony, anything to do with spiritual growth, personal growth, and self-empowerment. And so during those meetings, we would also have like group gatherings, and people would share their gifts. And I started sharing this light language, and people had such a big reaction to it. They encouraged me to do more with it. I was encouraged, you know how you get these nudges to start singing it, and then adding energy work to it. So they move my hands, and I'm working in your energy field, helping to balance. And there's so much that goes on. So I was encouraged to do that. And then overtoning came into it. And through a lot of synchronicities that I just kept saying yes to, I had created my first CD with a sound engineer, sound healer in San Francisco. It was back in 2007. And I sold enough CDs to pay for my airfare to Europe to go to a spiritual seminar given by Steve Rother, and it was called, I think, Human Angel Congress. And he got me up on stage, and I did a little bit right there in front of everyone, and I had like 11 private sessions, lunch breaks, evenings, and then that's what started going to Europe. So I was invited to people's healing centers, meditation groups, home concerts, churches. So I've been doing that, traveling there internationally since 2008. And I've been mostly to Holland and Belgium, although I've been up to Oslo, Norway. Many years ago, I was invited to Istanbul, and that was an amazing experience. I've done it in Hawaii. I have friends all over the world who follow me and are dear friends. Canada, Australia, from everywhere. People that I met through these light worker gatherings with Steve Rother, and we just remain in connection. That spiritual family connection. Yeah. So that's what's been going on. Last October, I had 6 concerts in 4 weeks and a lot of private sessions in Holland and Belgium. I'm going back again this October, and I've got more hosts wanting to host me. So, can I do more? Yeah. And maybe have my hosts work on maybe combining venues to, accommodate everybody.
Mhm.
So, anyway, that's kind of how it got started. Um, in a nutshell.
Yes. So what are the benefits that you have observed for people who have experienced Heartsong?
Almost everyone has a heart-opening experience. And they get more relaxed and feel more peace and at ease. Just like when you have a beautiful connection with God, Spirit, Source, when you do meditation. And in that, a lot of people get information. There's people who've had, it works on your DNA, it works on a multidimensional levels. Um, some people get healings. So it just depends on, everyone's own personal experience. I am the facilitator. I hold the space and I witness their experience with Source. And there's an invitation from there for them to accept and to work with it. And when people have healings or major breakthroughs or great experiences, I always tell them, good job, well done, because it's their work directly with Source. And they can go to that space anytime. So that's been the primary for concerts and private sessions.
Very nice. Has there been any scientific research done on Heartsong?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I imagine there's probably light language, and I'm not the only one who offers light language. And I'm sure there's a lot of beautiful facilitators using light language. I'm very, very strong about being a pure and open conduit. And my job is just to love that person and be the perfect open channel for their experience. And I've noticed that the light language has changed depending on the person or the people that I'm doing it for. So there's different energies that come through. And I think maybe the best example would be like if you have a light shining through a prism and then it goes out in different colors, different frequencies. So everybody gets what they're supposed to get. It's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah. So before I met you, I had never heard the term light language. Would you care to say more about what you think that is?
It is, how can I explain light language?
I know I'm probably asking you to describe something that might be ineffable.
And so, to some degree, yes. But if you go to in the Bible, they talk about receiving the baptism of the Holy Spirit, and the tongues of fire come down, and the Holy Spirit touches people, and then they start speaking in tongues. I think that that's one lens that you can look at it through. When I was in high school, I went to a Pentecostal church. My high school friend says, "Come on, kind of, that's okay." And so I experienced that, and they would have one person speak in tongues and another one would interpret. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And during that experience, I received that gift. It was this beautiful sun energy that came down, and I felt such a divine love, just indescribable. And then a couple of funny words came out.
No.
And I love doing it in private, meditating and praying. I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so for years, I worked as an operating room nurse, married, raised my children. And when they were ready and grown and getting ready to move, I told Source, I said, I'm here to do something more, put me to work.
Yeah.
And then I thought, what gifts do I have? And I thought about the light languages. And so that's when I started working with it and sharing it. And the more I worked with it, the more I learned about it and how it feels and how it makes other people feel. So it's, there's so many ways to source and self-healing and self-empowerment. This is one beautiful way. So to me, it's like the key needs to fit the lock.
Sure. Yeah.
So when people come and they resonate with it, they have their experience.
Right. Absolutely. Do you have any interesting stories that have happened in your Heartsong adventures, like people who have had profound experiences or things that were particularly profound or exciting or interesting or unusual?
Well, I had the first thing that comes to mind was one of my hosts had a gardener with severe back pain, and he showed me his X-rays, and it was not good. And I did a gratis session for him. As I'm standing behind him and working on him, he's doing this,
Mhm.
Okay. I'm just going with it. You're doing the work.
Yeah.
And he had like 95% pain gone.
Wow.
So it just depends on people and how ready they are to receive and how they receive. I've had other people get healings. And oh gosh, years ago, I was doing a private session. I had one person who had a profound experience, and he shared with me after. He says, I'm an exorcist, but I work on land. And he said, many years ago, I had this bad experience where I felt like part of my heart had been erased away. It was dead and cold spot there. And he says, during the session, it came back.
Oh.
And so he says, it's warm and it's beating, and I have to get used to feeling it there. And the only thing I could think of was that he was, overlaid with his original template, and that was restored. So a lot of things. I went to do a Heartsong for the land, a place in Maastricht, Holland, and there were these caves where the mining caves, and they had bars over them eventually because people go in there, get lost, and die. And so, but as I was singing Heartsong into the land, I could see this grid of light come down, and then it would dimple down and then ground into the earth. And then over here, I'm seeing all these little lights leaving, and I got that I was helping to release souls.
That had maybe been earthbound.
Yes, yes. So, and that part of the recording didn't record.
Oh.
That was interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So I've had all kinds of experiences that encourage me to do this in this lifetime. I mean, I've been a nurse all my life, and I have great critical thinking skills. I'm grounded. I've seen how traditional allopathic medicine can do great work. And we also have complementary modalities that can augment or assist people, again, as the key fits the lock. So I have like a foot in both worlds, so to speak.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
So since you've got the proverbial microphone, what is it that you would like the world to know about Heartsong?
Heartsong is something that is offered in unconditional love and service by me in this lifetime. And it can be an opportunity for you to learn how to connect through your heart and connect with that guidance, that inner guidance, and that intuitive, always loving, non-judgmental force. Unconditional love is such a formidable force that can assist you in making your decisions in your life. Use your brain, and everything works together, rock and wholeness, and know that you've got this amazing set of tools, I guess, so to speak, and a way of thinking and being that will assist you to reduce your stress, to see things more in a loving light in the world, and be of service yourself if you choose. And if you don't have to be doing something like I do to be of service, if you walk with your true authentic self, the energy you give off, I mean, at the grocery store, you will have an effect on people. There's like this energy that's offered as an invitation for them to choose to accept or not. And they may not know where it came from or why it's there, but they may have this knowing that, oh, this is something I get people wanting to be around me a lot. And when I was in the hospital and we have difficult patients, they go, send Mary. You know, and so I put out the intent that I carry this energy 24/7 for people to entrain what as they choose. And it doesn't matter to me if they know where it came from or not, as long as they have that opportunity.
So, Mary, you mentioned that you're coming from that place of unconditional love. And a lot of people tell me that they have a very, very, very hard time even beginning to access that place. So I'm wondering, do you have any helpful tips or tricks about being able to get into that state?
Yeah, for many people in this lifetime, especially with all the noise, the distractions, the you know, the media, the what's going on at work, what's going on at school, what's going on at home. We can be pulled in so many directions that we don't know how to connect here, or even that it's available. So when you are starting to explore, you take a step at a time. You can work with learning how to meditate or just take a walk in the nature and find ways to kind of quiet the noise around you, so that you can hear that beautiful essence of your authentic self come through. And when people ask me, well, how do you know what intuition is and how to hear it? And I tell people to just sit quietly and then say something out loud that you know is true and see how your body feels. And then sit quietly and say something that's a bold-faced lie, and you will feel it. You will feel it somewhere in your body. I'll feel it here. It's more of a dense, heavy instead of the light expanding. So that can help you learn how to listen to that inner guidance. Your body helps you with that. So that could be a good first step. And just, whatever excites you, whatever makes you feel passionate, whatever makes you feel happy, that's a signal that that's what you're supposed to do. So stepping in those little steps, go through this one door, another door presents itself, and then synchronicities happen, and then before you know it. I mean, when I first started doing this, I put my mouth with funny words come out. And I get in front of people the first time, I go, oh, please work. It's because it was so new, but I trusted. And as I kept saying yes to source, yes to my higher self, doors opened, things happened. And I've been doing that since 2008 internationally. And somewhat before when I had my growth center out of my home.
So Mary, tell us about your upcoming concerts.
Oh, well, there's one here coming up on the 22nd. It would be lovely to see you. What I'll do is open up with a little bit of a meditation, and then I'll be singing with music that I composed. And then I'll be singing in light language, and then also a cappella. And then there'll be songs that are done without music, again, a cappella. And I will take the time to focus on everyone present. And then towards the end, what I do is like a large group session, so to speak. So I channel in energies from source for everyone who's present. And that's when they do a lot of energy work with my hands. And I'll be working, around the room with different people, giving them information through toning and overtoning and light language. And whatever they direct me to do, usually they're doing balancing and putting things in their field that will facilitate them during that. So that's what to expect at a Heartsong. That's what I do in Europe every year.
Wonderful. Well, please join us here. So thank you, Mary. I appreciate you joining us today. This was delightful.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
My pleasure.